Many years ago, a journalist asked Carl Benz, "What is innovation?" He looked at his desk and asked the journalist, "Do you see that pencil?" "Yes." "Well, I saw it first." This curious answer has everything to do with what you are about to see. In fact, innovation is one of the main talents of the team who built this machine. Every time they modify a BMW K series, it is guaranteed that the result will be very impressive. And I mean impressive in every way. Technically and aesthetically. Welcome to Racer TV. This has to be one of the most spectacular K series projects I have ever seen. Notice how strong and muscular it turned out. Just by looking at this beauty, I'm sure most of you probably already figured out who built it. After all, the overall style is unmistakable. This amazing project was built in Brazil by the brothers Gustavo and Rodrigo Lourenço, the owners of Retrorides by Lourenço. As usual, their work never disappoints. On the contrary, it is really a superb cafe racer project. I know you are wondering about this fuel tank. But before we get to that, let's look back over the older Retrorides projects, based on the BMW K series. Back in 2017, they built this awesome project, which became almost viral among all the fans of the K-Series motorcycles. This rear suspension system was undoubtedly a game changer. And together with this substructure, Lourenço's team created the key element, which makes most K-Series transformations way easier than ever. 1 year later, they made this one. And here's how it sounds. A very unusual engine sound for sure. Surprisingly, they created their own CVT gearbox, which means continuously variable transmission. This was a very special request for a client who couldn't use his left foot. But now the Lorenzobrothers created this remarkable machine. And I think they really nailed it. It is based on a BMW K100 RS from the 80s. The big point of interest is definitely this fuel tank. What you see here is another game changer. Personally, I see it as the perfect solution BMW's designers should have found in the 80s for their K-Series naked version. Although Gustavo is a big fan of the K-Series, he never liked this kind of dent. It looked like something was missing. I know this dent exists to allow some space for the radiator. And this is the solution BMW came up with for the naked version. It's not bad, but it's not spectacular either. And this is something Gustavo wanted to improve. In the past, many other custom builders tried to solve this fuel tank issue, but they never went near this sensational solution. According to Gustavo, there were a lot of failed attempts before reaching this point, which is only natural, because the design of these covers is simply genius. And I think this small triangular grille is the key to make everything work. The first moment I saw it, it looked to have a certain connection with the lines of the fuel tank. And here is what I found. Every single line of the grille is related with the shape of the fuel tank, which means there was a lot of thinking to achieve this awesome result. This grille was made on a CNC milling machine. But what is interesting is the cover's material. They were made on their new professional 3D printing machine using carbon fiber filament. And it looks very nice indeed. Curiously, the entire rear cowl and the headlights mini fairing were made with the same process. This not only simplifies the building process, but opens the door to an infinite number of possibilities, allowing the creation of more complex shapes that would be hard to make with traditional methods. One of the project's goals was to create sort of an evolution of the K100 naked version, improving what could be improved, but on a cafe racer style. And this is clearly evident on this headlight mini fairing. The first time this part was mounted, Rodrigo had the great idea of including the iconic BMW kidney grille on the top. But there is more. If you look closely, this protrusion continues through the fuel cap, ending on the rear cowl. Impressively, even this rear light was completely handmade by Lorenzobrothers. And the solution for the rear turn signals is simply sublime. Everything was extremely well thought in every way. Even the great paint job, combining with the bronze details, is spot on. While I was editing this video, I had the opportunity of comparing it with their first K-series project. I found that Lorenzo's team improved everything that could be improved. The wheels are now a bit smaller, but the tires are wider, which fits the big engine perfectly. The new rear cowl now has a new volume under it, which gives some continuity to the subframe's structure. And obviously the fuel tank, which now has a perfect and classic shape. There is also a huge amount of aluminum custom parts, which you can check on these links, that were used on their previous projects. There is another important detail, which I haven't explained yet. I don't remember ever seeing a classic inverted handlebar on a BMW K100. But there is a good reason for that. To achieve fluidity in the lines and a connection between the elements, it is important to keep the headlight aligned with the fuel tank. But on this bike, that leaves too much empty space on this section. And this was the perfect opportunity to try the good old classic handlebar. I admit, it is a bold decision. But when I see an image like this one, everything looks absolutely superb. But now, I have to tell you the saddest news. A few months after presenting this lovely Honda Hornet, Lorenzo's team master suffered another heart failure. Unfortunately, this time, Mr. José Lourenço didn't make it and passed away on December 17th. Personally, I like to think his work is still alive, because without him, this amazing machine wouldn't exist. Wherever he is now, I am sure he is very proud for passing all his knowledge to his talented sons. Just like I said on the introduction, this BMW is a pure example of innovation. Because these covers change the way we see the K-series for customization. And something tells me that from now on, this will be the K100 Cafe Racer, by which all others will be compared. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.